Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar dedicated to our master's degree in logistics and supply chain management. My name is Maria Girenko. I work as a student recruitment advisor at Lancaster University Leipzig. And today with me on this webinar are our lecturer and the program lead for this master's program, Dr. Najam Anjum, and our current student, Angela, who will later share her experiences of studying with us. So yeah, with this, I would like to hand over to Dr. Najam Anjum, so he can first maybe say a couple of words about his background and then go on to presenting the Masters in Logistics and Supply Chain Management program. If anybody has questions during the webinar, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A section that you can see at the bottom, and we will cover all questions towards the end of the webinar. Okay, over to you, Najam.
Thank you, Maria. Thanks very much for a brief introduction. I'm going to just quickly start with my background. So I basically am a mechanical engineer, and I have almost 10 to 12 years of experience in working in the industry in supply chain management and project management. I also have almost 10 years of working experience in academia in different roles as program director. I've been teaching different operations management and management courses in different universities. And here in LU Leipzig, I look after this program in MSc Logistics and Supply Chain Management. So I'm going to give you a brief overview of what this program is. What would you learn if you enroll? And what are the benefits of studying in Leipzig in this program? So we are part of Lancaster University of Management Sciences, Leipzig, UK. And LUMS has been known for its management programs. It has different excellent ratings. The business and management studies is at 21st rank according to Complete University Guide Ranking 2024. The Economist ranks us around 77th globally, 22nd in the region. And the QS Top Universities ranking, as you can see, we're at 132nd number in the world. So these are all very impressive ratings, and we being part of this university in the UK, we kind of borrow and we inherit all these excellent academic qualities that are required in a degree. So most of our activities are actually aligned with what happens in Bailrig. Although, having said that, we also have the independence of modifying a few things according to the needs of the students here in Germany, in Leipzig. Right, now the question arises why we should study supply chain and logistics in Leipzig. If you look at the map of Leipzig, it's kind of in the center of Europe, so very well located. And once you're in Germany, you will have access to all the European countries within the Schengen area. So in terms of geography, I think it's an excellent location. In terms of its relevance with the industry, we find a lot of industrial complexes and different sorts of industries around the Leipzig area. The most prominent of them are two, which are DHL Hub at the Leipzig airport and Porsche Leipzig, which is also located near the airport. So these are the two main highlights of the entire industrial kind of group around the Leipzig area. Apart from that, Leipzig also has a history of being the center of trade. From almost 50 to 60 years ago. It had a lot of industries around the city, and then actually some artificial canals were dug within the city to connect these industries with the main routes in the sea. So very historic city and very closely related to supply chain and logistics management in terms of its geography, in terms of its infrastructure, in terms of its history. And as I said, a couple of highlights when it comes to industrial relevance are Porsche Leipzig and DHL Hub Leipzig. DHL Hub, it's the largest hub of DHL in the world here in Leipzig. It's an excellent facility. We normally have visits to their facility. They allow general visits of visitors as well. and it's an excellent resource that we utilize as an academic institution. In addition to that, we also have Poshi Experience Center, where they have almost 345,000 square meters of area covered in plant, and they produce different models. There's also an excellent facility, an excellent source of experience and learning for the students and for the professionals as well. So these are some of the things that put us in the right context in terms of an MSc degree in supply chain management and logistics, because we are covered, we are surrounded by different industries, especially the highlights are DHL and Porsche. These are some of the program details. So the best thing about this program is it's a 1 year long program. Most of the master program in Germany are 2 years long. So you get to finish a degree in a year. We have 8 modules which are credit bearing, 15 credits each, and altogether we have 180 credits in the degree. 60 credits go for the project and dissertation or dissertation. So you're going to have an option between doing an industrial project or an academic dissertation, which will have more focus on research. Uh, so altogether, we have 180 credits, but we do have an additional module, which is not credit bearing. I'm going to give you some details of that module as well in the next few slides. That's related to research methods. So in case those people who want to go for dissertation, it becomes very important for them, although it's open for everybody. Currently, we are running the program in the form of block teaching. We have between 30 to 35 hours for each module, and they get stretched out over 2 weeks. So some instructors, some conveners prefer to have 5 days per week. They spread out the hours accordingly. But in most cases, we see almost 4 days per week. So first 4 days of the week, Friday is normally a kind of a free day, and of course the weekend. So 8 days almost, and then 35 hours per module. Altogether 180 credits, 50 credits each for a single module, and 60 credits for the dissertation or project. These are the main learning outcomes of the program. So if you look at these red highlights, of course, it's operations and logistics and supply chain management programs. So the knowledge, the field knowledge, the specific scientific knowledge in this area is going to be imparted. But apart from that, the unique thing that I would like to highlight about this program is its focus on quantitative skills. Spatially, I'm going to show you the list of courses as well. We have a lot of focus on data analytics. And that is why we can claim that we develop in these students some very hardcore quantitative skills that are going to be useful for them to take decisions in their practical life, in their professional life in the industry. We also have some activities which impart leadership skills, team working skills, problem solving skills. So altogether, if you look at these outcomes, these learning objectives, you can basically acquire qualitative and quantitative analytical skills for taking informed decisions in logistics and supply chain management. So if you work in the industry, one most frequently occurring thing is a decision dilemma. You are always left at a juncture. You have to take a decision of either this or that, which project to go for, what decision should you take in a certain situation. And these quantitative skills could come very handy at this point, because you are good at number crunching, you have some data available. It is said that data is the new oil, so you can understand the importance of data. So we kind of hone these skills in students and prepare them for decision making in the logistics and supply chain management area, especially the quantitative skills, which we have a specialized focus on in this degree. These are the modules that we cover. It also includes the research method module, which is a non-credit bearing, but equally important. And we also list dissertation industry research here as well. But in terms of the 8 essential modules, you clearly see we have statistics and descriptive analytics. We have operational research and prescriptive analytics. We also have forecasting and predictive analytics. So these are the 3 hardcore data analytics courses, and that shows you how much emphasis this program puts on data analytics skills. And there's something which also makes us unique, this program unique in comparison with other programs in UK universities or here in Germany, which are more qualitative. But we have found this niche, and keeping in mind the future requirements of data analytics skills, this degree imparts specialized data analytics skills to the students. Apart from that, we have other general supply chain management courses, strategic supply chain management, we have global sourcing, operational supply chain excellence, we have logistics management, and we also have logistic modeling, which again has some emphasis on developing quantitative skills. So altogether, it's a very diverse kind of degree, which emphasizes mostly on quantitative, but on qualitative as well. So all the other courses, including strategic supply chain management, operations supply chain excellence, global sourcing, and logistics management, they are also very qualitative analysis focused. So as I said, we are currently running this program in a block format. So each module takes 2 weeks, and we have these 8 modules spread out throughout these 3 terms. Mainly 2 terms, and third term we have this research method and the dissertation or the industry project. So one piece of extra information that I would like to give you at this point is that currently we're running it in block teaching mode. So all of the modules are in block teaching, but we are considering moving some of the modules to term-based modules. And the reason for that is to make it easier for you to understand the quantitative skills and handle the mathematics that is involved in those modules. This decision hasn't been finalized yet, but we are considering for the convenience of the student. But currently, last year in 2020-24, this was the setting in which these modules were delivered. Some of our modules have exams, not all of them, and some of them have only coursework assignments, which means you get to complete a report on a certain topic, on maybe some kind of theoretical research, maybe going to industry and doing your project with them. So it's a mix of it. We do have exams and we do have coursework assignments as well. And then finally, in term 3, you have this research method module, which is a non-credit bearing module, but equally important because you will be utilizing that knowledge in your dissertation or the industry project. So the difference between these two is that dissertation is more theory focused. In case you have plans of going into academia, maybe pursuing a PhD in the future, dissertation could be the best option for you. But if you want to directly go to into the job market, find a job, work in the industry in some professional position, then the company project could be a good idea, because in that case you get to work with a company, and you get to introduce yourself to the company and they come to know about you. There is currently a shortage of skilled manpower in entire Europe. I think throughout the world, but especially here in Germany. So if you go for the industry project, you can actually introduce yourself to the industry and you can kind of enter the job market informally during this project as well. The degree normally is going to end in September, and the convocation takes place mid-October. But the degrees will be awarded even before the convocation. You will have the option of attending the convocation or taking the degree before that. So, in terms of learning, we have some diverse forms of learning that we impart. So we have lectures, we have seminars, tutorials, workshops in which more emphasis is put on putting you to work and letting you practice all those things that we talk about in lectures. And in addition to that, we also have a few labs in some of the modules where you practice your data analytics skills on some software and IT platforms. Uh, but this is not the only thing. Even in lectures and workshops, we have some very interesting activities in which, although we do not have that industrial setting inside a classroom, but we can create simulations. We can create some games and activities that help you in understanding how it is going to feel when you actually go into the industry and work in a professional setting. So we have some activities, we have competitions, we have simulations. For example, one of the competitions that we had was this poster competition. where the students were required to come up with a current issue in supply chain and logistics management, and then they displayed those posters. They explained why they have chosen this topic and what are the issues and what could be the potential solutions. And then this was kind of a competition. So in the end, we had a winner. And it was kind of a very interesting experience because when you have a competition, especially in these specialized scientific fields, a lot of kind of very novel things come out, and students get to have the chance of expressing themselves and coming up with their novel ideas. Uh, Apart from that, we have industrial visits. We have some fun visits. For example, this canal system that I was talking about. So we have a plan of going to a guided tour in the canals of Leipzig because they tell us a story of how logistics and supply chain management used to work almost half a century ago. It's an interesting tour. So this is going to be repeated for the next year as well. So as I said, Leipzig has some history related to industry and logistics. And this tour puts everything in very useful perspective that you've been studying in the class. As I said, we also have this poster competition and a lot of diverse activities that help you learn the art of, and I'm using the word the art of logistics and supply chain management. In the courses, you could have short assignments, you could have coursework assignments, which even some cases are 100% weightage of the course, and you could have industry and industry project or dissertation. I've already spoken about that. So, I mean, mainly speaking, these could be three different modes of learning that you could have, but the class activities, the lectures, the workshops, of course, are the main source. In terms of the workload on you for this degree, you will almost have 10 to 15 hours of weekly learning. Maybe if somebody wants to have an extensive first week and a smaller second week, then you might have maybe 4 hours each day. But that hardly happens. So on average, it's going to be 10 to 15 hours per week, spread across maybe 4 or 5 days. But that is not the only thing. You will be given some assignments. You will be required to do some pre readings before you come to the class. And that will actually take most of your time. So, almost 40 hours a week, you should keep in mind altogether that you would be spending on studying. And outside those hours, of course, you can have fun, you can have your activities, you can have, you can visit the city, interesting places. So overall, I would say that it's fun to study in this degree. We have a balance of different areas, both quantitative and qualitative. We cover all the different aspects of supply chain and logistics management in our degree, and we have multiple diverse sources of learning, including industrial visits, competitions, activities, lectures, workshops, and whatever other advanced forms of learning that exist. So I'm going to stop here. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions, as Maria told you, you're going to have to maybe write them separately in a corner and then I'll answer them.
Yeah, just
Maria,
feel
over to
free
you.
to drop them. There is a Q&A section, as I mentioned, so just feel free to ask any questions you have. In the meantime, I have a question. What is an average background of the students on the program? So would you say that there are mostly people with some professional experience, or do they mostly come directly from their bachelor studies? So as far as I know, there is no such prerequisite for our admissions. So like a working experience is not a requirement. The only thing they are looking into, it's important to have some mathematics background in the bachelor's degree, because as you said, the program is quite quantitative. Yeah, you need quantitative skills to succeed. So what would you say? What is like an average background of the students?
Yeah, so currently we have a mix of people. As you said, yes, rightly, we do not have any condition of having some industrial experience. You can directly come into this program from a bachelor's degree. So we have a mix of people in the class, in the cohort that we have. I would say we have almost 40% of the students who have some industrial experience,
Mhm.
but 60% do not have industrial experience, and they come directly through from the bachelor's degree. So it's a mix, and this actually makes class more interesting. Or there are people who have some very strong theoretical knowledge. They give the theoretical perspective, and the other people who have industrial background, they put things in the right perspective, and a very good, healthy discussion takes place. In terms of mathematical requirements, as you mentioned, I would say that it's not something that you should be afraid of, because we have these modules, we have activities, we have labs, we have exercises, simulations, and the drawing, the entire degree actually has been designed to impart those skills to you. So you do not have to be a Newton or an expert in mathematics to start this degree. Actually, this degree makes you an expert, quantitative expert, once you pass. So do not be intimidated by these mathematical based modules. The degree is very balanced, and yes, you do not need to have any experience. We have a current cohort which have a very good balance between experienced people and people who come directly after their graduation.
Right, thank you very much. The presentation was very useful. I also learned something new. So far, we don't have any questions, but at this point, there is still time. I would like to invite Angela, our current student in the MSc Logistics and Supply Chain Management. And I would like to ask Angela some questions about her experience. And in the meantime, if there are any questions that pop up, just drop them in the Q&A section. Thank you very much, Najam. So Angela, thank you for joining. Welcome. So I would like to start with asking you about your background. So what kind of academic or professional background do you have?
Hello, everybody. My name is Angela. Well, I have studied industrial organization engineering in Spain, in my country, during almost 5 years. And after that, I worked for around 4 months developing photovoltaic solar packs projects between the end of my bachelor degree and the beginning of this master that I'm doing now.
So why did you choose this program? Why did you choose to study this topic?
Well, I chose this master program because in the last year of my bachelor degree, I was exploring and learning a lot of supply chain and logistics topics, and I found them really interesting. And also, I really like the automotive industry, and this master, I think, is a really good step into that field.
Okay, great. So I just wanted to ask you why you chose to study it here in Leipzig, but basically you already answered that. Of course, because as Najam also mentioned, there is, for example, Porsche factory here in Leipzig, BMW. So it's a great place, I think, to study this specific.
Yes, and also there's so many reasons why I choose this university here in Leipzig. The first one, I think, is, and the most important for me, is that you can be part of a British university, and at the same time, you can experience living in another country and learning about different cultures. And yeah, that is one of the reasons. And the other reason, as Najam mentioned, this city has a really important historical background in this logistic and supply chain management. So I thought that would be the perfect place to continue studying. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And what are your career goals? What do you expect to achieve after graduation?
Well, I would love to find a good job here in Germany with favorable conditions, and above all, find interesting projects and the opportunity to collaborate with inspiring people now. And I also hope to reach a good German level. I'm practicing, and where I'm pretty sure that I will continue studying to further my education.
Oh, good luck with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so could you name a couple of things that you appreciate the most about the program, maybe the teaching? So for example, Najam mentioned that now the teaching is conducted in block teaching mode. Yeah, any comments on the program structure, content?
Well, the most exciting thing I will say here is the multicultural environment. So there's a lot of international students coming from many different places of the world, and with different mindsets, different way of thinking and doing things, and that make your lecture much more interesting. Another thing I will say is that I really like how professor use real case studies. So you will learn how to apply theory in real life situations, not just theory itself, as Najam told. So the block teaching mode, well, the way that professor teach us, show all the case studies, is really interesting and super different from my bachelor, for example.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and do you find it generally challenging, this kind of block teaching? What is the most challenging part of the program for you?
Okay, so I would say that it has advantages and disadvantages as everything. The pro is that you completely focus on one topic, let's say, but the cons is that sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming because you have limited time to assimilate all the concept. But if you combined this block teaching with daily work, the results are excellent. And the challenge that you mentioned, for me, the most important has been learning how to work in group with people from different cultures, with different ways of thinking, different tools. However, this challenge has made me more resilient and flexible, and it has teaching me valuable skill for the future work environment that you will face for sure these situations.
Yeah, this is true. A very useful skill,
Yeah.
of course, for working in the future. And how much time would you say you spend on average for self-study?
Well, it's really depend, I think, on the person. In my case, I enjoy reading, for example, the material that professors suggest to supplement the lessons. It's true that there are some assignments, some coursework assignment, as Najam mentioned, but I will say that the amount of self-study required is much less than what needs for a bachelor degree. So it's perfect. I think it's good. Sometimes I feel quite boring, so it's not super stressful. Like you will have time for everything, so don't be panic and enjoy the program.
Okay, thank you very much. And now I can see that on the call with us today are mostly students who applied for this program and they're still choosing a university where they would like to go. So some of them might have some doubts, or I don't see any questions so far, but I assume that it's a very exciting time when you have to choose your future study path. What would be something you would advise to those students? So what should they pay attention to? Is there maybe something that you wish you knew before you joined the university?
Well, my advice I will say that take advantage of the class. Don't just attend for the sake of it, like because you really want to learn. That is the first important thing. And the second thing is don't be shy and try to participate as much as possible. There are no wrong answer. Nobody's going to tell you, no, this is not correct. And you will learn a lot of from this experience. And if they are quite I don't know, worry about this block teaching or all the models, something, don't worry. First of all, have a good plan to avoid the stress and lack of time. You will have time for everything, for going party, for studying, for even try to find a good job. So I have time for everything. So you also will have time.
Okay, thank you very much, Angela. So let's just give a couple of minutes for students to maybe still ask some questions. Don't be shy, ask questions. It's your chance to learn more about the program. So let's just wait a couple more minutes before finishing the webinar. Maybe Najam, maybe you could mention something about the background of the lecturers, because this is something that many students actually ask us. Who are the people teaching in this program? Oh, you are muted, sorry.
Okay. Right. So one of the things that I forgot to mention, and thank you very much for asking this question, is that the academic dean of LU Leipzig, Dr. Konstantin Blohm, is a well-known and renowned expert in operations and supply chain management. He is one of the most highly cited researchers in this area. He has worked in the industry as a consultant. I think he's still working. So, and one of the modules, the global sourcing module, is taken by him. So he is kind of a beacon of light and a shining star when it comes to this degree, because he leads from the front and he has all the knowledge and expertise in this area. Apart from that, we have some members of the team which come from UK. So as I said, UK's program, all these global ratings, the same teacher, the same instructors, come here in Leipzig and teach you the same module with the same standards. And almost half of them are based in Germany, just like myself, Constantine, and a couple of others. And most of them have the supply chain and operations background. For example, myself, I have more than 10 years of experience of working in the same area as supply chain manager, as project manager. Similarly, Constantine has a very strong industrial background as well. So, and that is the reason why we get a balance of industrial understanding and academic theoretical understanding of things. So, in terms of background, it's a mix of academia and an industry, and some very good researchers. For example, Anas, who teaches strategic supply chain management, he regularly publishes in very good journals. So, in terms of research knowledge, he has latest cutting edge knowledge about the topic. And same can be said to some about others instructors as well.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I think this is a very common question that students ask. And now I can see there is a question. What are some of the softwares we are going to use in the program? Do you have any information?
Yeah, so mostly we'll be using R, and I mean, of course, the modules that use R are going to give you a full training. We have also been using Excel, and I think Angela can actually highlight and answer this more appropriately because she has attended the entire degree and all the lectures. I have only seen the outlines. I haven't attended the lectures. So, Angela, what would you say?
Yeah, we're also using Anaconda software in the logistics and logistics modeling. Those three are the software that we are using. But the most important software I would say is Excel, because we use it in two modules.
Mm-hmm. So you would say Excel, R, and
Anaconda.
Anaconda. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, I don't see any other questions. Just a minute, maybe somebody is typing. Just wanted to remind everybody, if you have any questions after the webinar, just feel free to reach out. And of course, we will get back to you with an answer if you just come up with something after the webinar. Yeah, thank you very much, Najam. Thank you, Angela, for joining. I think it was a very informative session, and I hope that it will help some of the prospective students to make their decision. And maybe we will see some of them on campus later this year. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for joining, and I wish everybody a good day. Oh, wait, there is a question. Okay, this is a good question. Can international students work in Germany after master's degree? Yes, they can. So students are allowed to work up to 20 hours per week during their studies. And after they graduate, in case you are an international student and you have a student residence permit here, you can extend your residence permit for up to 18 months to look for a job here in Germany. And after that, after you have found a job, you get a work-related residence permit. So yeah, it is definitely possible, and the German authorities are interested in attracting qualified experts. So it is completely possible, yeah. So you will apply for 18 post-study residence permit extension to look for a job, and then once you have a job, you get a work-related residence permit. So this is something that many international students benefit from here in Germany. Yeah, now the question started. Is it possible to continue to a PhD study for people who decided to do an industry project instead of a dissertation?
Shall I?
Yeah, Najam, I think it's...
Yes, definitely. When I mentioned that it could be good for you if you want to pursue a PhD, I didn't mean that it is essential. It is not. So you can do either of them, the industry project or the dissertation. And if you want to pursue a PhD, then it would be totally fine.
Okay, thank you. All right, yeah. If there are no last minute questions, then I think we can wrap it up. Thank you once again, and I wish everybody a good day. Let's stay in
Thank you.
touch. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.